Hi, Karen, with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a scrapbook layout for Scrap the Boys challenge, and we are being inspired by circles this month of June. And I decided that my inspiration was going to come from this wonderful cut file from Cut to You, which is called Confetti, and it's a wonderful cascading amount of circles across the page. And I thought that this would be a really great jumping off point for the layout. And I'm just sticking that down onto some patterned paper. The collection that I'm using for my layout today is from BeeArty, which is an Australian company. And this collection is called Whispering Woods, and it is so gorgeous. I love it. It has wonderful fairy tale type feels to it. So there's toadstools and birds and butterflies and some lovely flowers and some snails and gnomes and things like that. I just absolutely love it. So the photo I'm using today is a photo of my nephew. It's just sort of tucked on that plate there. And he is playing in the rain and the mud. And I thought the other cut file that I'm using today is the mushroom row, which also includes this title of Stay Wild. And I thought it would be perfect to incorporate this onto the page as well. So what I'm doing here with the insides of the cut file, so these are the negative pieces of the cut file, I'm just using my Distress Oxides here in Mustard Seed, my favorite yellow, and I'm using my ink blending tool, and I'm trying to sort of ombre it up across up the page. So went in quite dark, and then as I'm using a circle motion on the letters, I am then starting to lift it up a little bit, so it's only then softly at the very beginning, just sort of give that shaded view across the letters. I'm thinking I'm going to pop those up on some foam as well. I did pre-back my other component of the cut file, the mushrooms there, off camera. And I thought I wanted to create a little bit of, a grounding piece there. So I added some more mixed media to the background. And I've used the BeeArty Color Blast dye ink in the color of Rust. And I just put that little bit onto some packaging, added some water, and just dabbed that across the page. And I love how that turned out. I think it gave a really lovely earthy feel to the page across those circles as well. And because you can see the green pattern paper through the confetti, it sort of looks a bit like, I guess, the ground with the dirt and the rain and things like that. Well, that's what I had in my mind anyway. So with the actual cut file itself, so the white component, the actual title, I did stick that directly onto the page because I wanted to then pop up the letters on some foam, just using fun foam from that I get from Spotlight, and I've stuck all that down with my Nuvo glue as well. It's always really important, I think, if you've used mixed media or any sort of liquids on your backgrounds, it's a really good idea to use a liquid adhesive just to make sure things will hold for you. What I did do with the mushroom portion of the cut file was I did stick that straight down onto the page as well, because I wanted to allow then some of my dimension work will come in with some of the ephemera pieces that I'm going to use throughout the mushrooms as well. So I'm backing my photo with just some tissue paper from my stash. This just gives a little bit of a softish touch to the page. And I didn't really want to add any more patterned paper. I thought I'd certainly had added enough patterned paper over the page. And I do pop that up on some foam as well, just to sort of tuck it in and allow that to reach underneath the letters there as well. I have fussy cut out all these gorgeous little toadstools from the collection as well, and just placing those across the page. So I'm going for a very vertical looking page today. And gosh, they are just so cute. Some of the collection has some cut out words and phrases and things like that. So I'm just adding those to the page and having a flick through and seeing, is there anything else? And I do find a little snail, which I do cut out here, and I pop that onto the D on wild there on the right hand side. I didn't think I'd ever use a snail in a layout, but look at that, I have managed to use that snail. So in terms of the challenge this month, we hope that you get an opportunity to join us and have a play. We have a Facebook group where you can share what you're all up to and what you're creating for the challenge this month. I will leave the links below to that group and also to the blog as well, so you can see all the other inspiration from the wonderful creative team at Scrap the Boys. I love being a part of this group. It is so much fun. What else did I do for this layout? I do add some splatters and I ink around the edges because I really want to make sure that gives some depth. I really love inking edges. I know it's probably an old school thing, but I really love how it just finishes off a page, particularly when you've used a lot of white cardstock in the actual view. I do add a little bit and shortly as well. And I'm just giving the edges of the green labels there just a little bit of distressing with my distress tool, just to rough it up just a little bit, just to give it that grungy look, and seeing we're in that, like I said before, that wonderful puddles of dirt, etc. So adding in some splatters here just to bring in a little bit more of the yellow. I've used my little splattering brush there, which gives a really fine amount of splatters, which I love. And then I'm going to ink around the edges a little bit more with some of the rust. So I'm just using my blending tool as well, just to go around those pages, around the edges, just a messy, no real plan in mind with that. I've just added here, added there, and I really love how that just finished off the whole layout. So here is the final product and some close-ups for you. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you get an opportunity to join us this month and create with Being Inspired by Circles. I will see you next time. Bye for now.